I will never let you divorce him. Yeah, Mom's right. I can't even walk. That's what my mother-in-law and my husband told me. I married my husband Liam because I loved him. Even though we are no longer lovers, I still care about him deeply as family. My mother-in-law was strict in some ways, but she never said anything unreasonable. My husband always defended me. Then one day, he had a big car accident and didn't wake up. While I was busy visiting my husband and dealing with the accident, I checked the driver's recorder. When I saw the footage, I was shocked. I knew I could never forgive my husband. Everything that had happened seemed like a lie. When he woke up and was in a wheelchair, I said goodbye to him. My name is Julie, a 37-year-old housewife. My husband Liam and I got married 5 years ago. I was depressed for a long time because my ex-boyfriend, who had promised to marry me, dumped me. I met my husband at a party my friends took me to because they were worried about me. To marry my ex-boyfriend, I started working as a temp instead of getting a full-time job after graduating from college. My ex-boyfriend was very kind, and I thought I could build a peaceful family with him. But one day, he suddenly told me he had fallen in love with a girl in the same class and broke up with me. He said he would pay me alimony for breaking off the engagement, but I refused and ran away from the house we were living in. My husband was the opposite of my ex-boyfriend. When he arrived at the party, my friends took me for a drink. Julie, right? I'm Liam. Your friend told me you went through a tough time. He asked me right away. My friend had told him that I was not doing well. I've been afraid to get close to people since my ex betrayed me. It's been a long time since I've been out to a party like this. That's great. Here's to taking the first step. I know what it's like to be cheated on. I had the same experience, but it's a waste of time to stay sad. Let's just enjoy today. My heart, which had been heavy for a long time, felt a little lighter. That day, we drank a lot and had a lot of fun. My husband and I exchanged contact information. The next day, he contacted me and we decided to go out for dinner. While talking to him, I could forget about the day my ex-boyfriend dumped me, which used to always be on my mind. After seeing Liam for a while, I no longer thought about my ex-boyfriend, even when I was alone. I'm happy to see you getting better day by day, and I'm going to keep making you happier. Let's stay together, Julie. I will never betray you. When I heard these words, I knew I could trust him. We officially started dating. Every day was happy and fulfilling. Even though he was the same age as me, my husband was very dependable. When I had a bad day at work, he cheered me up like he did when we first met. My friends were surprised to see that I had become a different person from the one who had been depressed a few months ago. After a year of dating, he proposed to me, and we decided to get married. I was so happy to be able to marry someone I loved so much. When we went to my in-laws' house to say hello, I was so nervous that I couldn't stop sweating. My father-in-law was a man of few words, but he tried to ease my nerves. My husband also showed me pictures from his childhood to help me relax. My mother-in-law was cheerful and true to herself. I don't know why you're so nervous. I'm not against you getting married. We are going to be a family. She patted me on the back and said with a laugh. Hearing my mother-in-law's words, my nerves instantly relaxed. I'll teach you how to take care of the house, and I'll be strict with you. Mom, Julie can do everything well without your teaching. She doesn't need your help. My husband laughed and defended me. My mother-in-law heard what he said and smiled. I'm just joking, she laughed. My in-laws live far away, but we had a good relationship, or so I thought. At the wedding, many of our friends celebrated with us. I was so happy that I cried all the time. For the first few years of our marriage, we were really in love. I looked forward to my husband coming home after work every day. I got a lot done because I knew a delicious dinner would be waiting for him. My husband's job required a lot of overtime, but no matter how late he came home, he always ate my dinner and praised my cooking. I loved hearing him praise me, so I spent my spare time looking at recipe websites and adding more dishes to my repertoire. During New Year's, we visited my in-laws' house with my husband. My mother-in-law always taught me how to cook. You should buy an Instant Pot. Try this meat. It's so tender, isn't it? Sometimes she was kind, but more often she was stern. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. You need to be smart about what you're doing. I used to cook only for my husband and didn't have the skills to cook for others, so it was a learning experience for me. My in-laws were not bad people, and I think I was able to live peacefully with them. But maybe you are happy with just the two of you now. You should have kids soon. The only time I was hurt was when my mother-in-law talked about children. It's not that we didn't want children. Of course, we wanted to have a child, but it wasn't that easy. My husband and I talked about it and decided not to have fertility treatment. Maybe it was our fault for not talking to my mother-in-law about it, but every time we saw her, she would mention the child. "Hey, Mom, we have our own timing," my husband would say when he was around. When he wasn't, I just had to force a smile. A few times a year, my parents-in-law would come to visit and stay at our house. I didn't want my mother-in-law to say anything, so when my in-laws came to visit, I cleaned the house from top to bottom. On the days when we ate at home, I made sure everything was perfect. I made more fancy dishes than usual. I was so well prepared that she never said anything about the house, but she still mentioned having children. Each time my husband defended me. As time passed, we were married for 8 years. Unlike when we first got married, we were no longer lovers, but that didn't mean I didn't love him anymore. He was still important to me, and we had just become family. I'm sure he felt the same way. No matter how late he came home, he always ate my cooking. We never had children, but I thought we had a good relationship. I believed that no matter how old we got, we would live together with the same sense of closeness. My relationship with my in-laws hadn't changed, and we still saw each other a few times a year. The only thing that changed was that I could talk back to my mother-in-law a little bit now. My mother-in-law always talked to me about children. You know what can't be done can't be done, I would now say jokingly. She didn't get angry at me for that. I know that, but I can't help saying it. I'm sorry, she would start to laugh with me. Then one day, I received a call from an unknown number. "Hello, is this Liam's wife? Your husband has been in an accident and is in the hospital. Please come to the hospital right now." I was so surprised that I couldn't process what was happening. I immediately took a cab to the hospital. Coincidentally, my parents-in-law were visiting us that week, so in the cab, I called my mother-in-law. "Mom, it's Liam. Something happened to Liam. He had an accident and was taken to the hospital." I couldn't speak properly because I couldn't stop crying, but my mother-in-law understood immediately. She was on a sightseeing tour with my father-in-law, but they agreed to come to the hospital right away. When I arrived at the hospital, my husband was in surgery. He was driving his car when he was hit from behind. The other car was driving very fast, and he was hit hard. The hospital explained that he was unconscious and in critical condition. I broke down in tears, but my mother-in-law said, "I'm sure Liam will be fine. We just have to wait and believe in him." I felt sorry that my parents-in-law were worried about me, even though it must have been hard for them too. The surgery took a long time, but it was a success, and my husband survived. My parents-in-law and I cried in relief. After that, my husband's consciousness didn't come back easily. We took turns staying with him, hoping he would wake up. While my in-laws were at church, I was busy dealing with the accident and other formalities. The police told me my husband was the victim of the accident. The other driver was arrested for dangerous driving. However, the driver claimed my husband was also at fault. I wanted to protect my husband, so I went to the accident scene. The car was so damaged, but miraculously, the drive recorder was safe. I took the SD card and checked it with my laptop. The footage was still there. After that, I headed to the hospital to switch places with my mother-in-law. I was almost there when I got a call from her. "Hey, Lauren, Liam has regained consciousness." She sounded so happy. I rushed to the hospital. "Thank goodness, Liam, you're awake." I heard my mother-in-law's voice when I arrived. My husband was able to talk as if he had just been sleeping. "Oh, I was in an accident. I don't remember." When I heard he was awake, his doctor came to check on him, and we all talked to him. My father-in-law also came to the hospital. The doctor said the surgery was a success, but didn't know if my husband would be able to walk again. He would be in a wheelchair for a while and would need physical therapy, but they couldn't promise he would walk again. The atmosphere in the room turned heavy. "Why? I can't walk," my husband mumbled to himself after the doctor left. My mother-in-law tried to cheer him up. "We will help you as much as we can. Let's do our best in physical therapy so you can walk again, right, Lauren?" Instead of agreeing, I said, "No, I'm leaving him." "I want a divorce," I said. Everyone there was surprised by my unexpected answer. "Huh? What are you talking about? In a situation like this, I'll never allow you to divorce my son." "You're a heartless woman," my mother-in-law yelled at me. My husband added, "Yeah, Mom's right. I can't even walk. How dare you?" My father-in-law was too shocked to say anything. Then I took my laptop out of my bag and showed them a video. "What if someone finds out?" a young woman asked. "It's okay, we're on break. No one from the office is going to come around here," my husband replied. "Your wife could be watching," she said. There was my husband and the young woman talking to each other and making out. She was wearing the uniform of the company where my husband worked. From their conversation, it was clear he had been having an affair with her. "What the hell is this?" my father-in-law asked in surprise. No, it was just a fling. "There's nothing between me and this woman," my husband stammered, too nervous to explain himself. My mother-in-law seemed at a loss for words, maybe because she was so surprised. I kept quiet and played the next video. "I'm not doing well with my wife. I'm getting divorced soon, so let's get married," my husband said. "Really? Will you marry me?" the woman asked, giggling. "How disgusting. What are you doing, Liam?" My father-in-law, who was always so calm, turned into an angry man. My husband was lying on his face. "Liam, you shouldn't cheat on your wife. Apologize to Lauren. And Lauren, forgive him, okay? Liam's body is like this now. He can't cheat on you anymore." My mother-in-law, who had kept quiet until a few minutes ago, became impatient and started defending her son. "Well, I want you to watch something else," I said, and then I played another video. There was my mother-in-law and my husband. "I want to see my grandchildren's faces, you know," she said. "Mom, don't tell Dad, but I'm thinking of getting a divorce and remarrying. The next one will be young, so you'll be able to see your grandchild soon," my husband replied. "Oh yeah, that's great. But if you cheat on your wife, she'll take all the money," she warned. "Don't worry, I'm making sure she never finds out. As long as I come home and eat, that's all that matters to Lauren. She is happy as long as I eat her cooking. She doesn't seem suspicious at all. I'll play it smart. Don't worry," my husband said. "You are so smart," my mother-in-law praised him. "I can't wait to see my grandchildren." My mother-in-law knew my husband was cheating on me and agreed he should divorce me so she could see a grandchild. This was disgusting. "How dare you talk like this? I don't want this kind of wife or son." My father-in-law's face turned red with anger. My mother-in-law and my husband looked impatient, not knowing what to do. "Which one of us is the heartless one? I'll divorce you for sure." "Why should I help you after all you've done? Be happy with your young lover. Goodbye." Wait, Lauren." Ignoring my husband's voice, I left the hospital room. My father-in-law followed me. "Lauren, I'm so sorry," he said, bowing deeply. "It's not your fault. Thank you for everything. Please tell him that my lawyer will be in touch with him." As I walked out of the hospital, the tears I had been holding back began to flow. I wondered how long I had been deceived. I didn't know, but now that I did, I was glad I could leave him. The divorce went through without a hitch. I got a lot of alimony. The other woman my husband cheated on me with was a receptionist at Liam's company. I was surprised to hear she was just 23. They used to meet on their lunch break a few blocks away from the office and then go back separately. The accident happened while my ex-husband was returning to the office alone. I was a little skeptical as to why he had an accident in his car while he was at work, but after hearing the story, it made sense. My lawyer told me that sometimes my ex-husband and his lover would take half a day off to visit her house. He was being very secretive, so I wouldn't find out. I don't think he thought it would come out this way, and because their affair had become a rumor within the company, he had to quit his job. The woman he had an affair with also had to quit. She was young and had no savings, and had to borrow money to pay the alimony. At the same time, we divorced. My parents-in-law also divorced. My father-in-law couldn't forgive my mother-in-law either. I was surprised when I heard from my father-in-law about the news. My mother-in-law had rented a small apartment and was living with my ex-husband after he got out of the hospital. They couldn't afford to rent a handicap-accessible house because they had no money left after paying the alimony. My ex-husband is working on physical therapy, but the chance of him being able to walk again is very small. His young lover left him when she realized he might never walk again. She didn't want to be tied down to someone who couldn't walk, so she decided to leave him and move on with her life. This left him even more devastated, adding to the emotional toll of his physical condition. I've been living alone for a while now. At first, it was hard to adjust to the quiet and the loneliness, but over time, I started to find peace in my own company. I started to enjoy the freedom of making my own decisions and living life on my own terms. I redecorated my home to reflect my tastes and started new hobbies that I had always wanted to try but never had the time for. I've decided to make a fresh start and focus on my career. I am studying to be a certified public accountant. It's a lot of hard work, but I am determined to succeed. I spend hours each day studying, taking online courses, and preparing for exams. If I get certified, I might be able to get a permanent job through a friend's introduction. This could be a great opportunity for me to build a stable and rewarding career. I am looking forward to this new chapter of my life. I feel hopeful and excited about the future. I have learned a lot from my past experiences, and I am determined to make the most of the opportunities that come my way. I will make sure to enjoy every minute of this new journey. I will focus on my personal growth, my career, and my happiness. This is my time to shine, and I am ready to embrace it fully. In addition to studying, I have been taking better care of myself. I joined a gym and started working out regularly. I found that exercise not only improved my physical health, but also boosted my mood and helped me manage stress. I also started eating healthier, cooking nutritious meals for myself, and even trying out new recipes. I reconnected with old friends and made new ones. I joined a few social groups and clubs related to my interests, which helped me meet people who shared my passions. These new connections have been incredibly supportive and have made me feel less alone. I've also been volunteering in my community. Giving back has been a rewarding experience and has given me a sense of purpose. I've helped out at local shelters, participated in community cleanups, and even started tutoring children in math, which has been both challenging and fulfilling. Throughout this journey, I've been journaling my thoughts and experiences. Writing has been therapeutic and has helped me process my emotions and reflect on my growth. Looking back on my entries, I can see how far I've come and how much stronger I've become. I am grateful for the support of my friends and family during this time. They have been my rock, providing encouragement and love when I needed it the most. Their belief in me has helped me believe in myself. As I move forward, I am excited about the possibilities that lie ahead. I know there will be challenges, but I am confident in my ability to overcome them. I am focused on building a bright future for myself one filled with joy, success, and fulfillment. This new chapter of my life is a testament to my resilience and strength. I am proud of the person I am becoming and look forward to the adventures and opportunities that await. I will make sure to cherish every moment and live my life to the fullest.